Not yet. Okay, let me see.
Now we live.
Boom, there it is. What's
Damn.
good?
What up?
What
What's
it do?
happening,
What it
everyone?
do? What's good, everybody? Welcome to Intelligently Ratchet. Your boy Cosby.
If y'all didn't know, if y'all not reading the ticker, tonight's is Kazi's last hurrah with the Intelligently Ratchet gang.
Oh man,
We are all happy to see him go. He's been a burden and a pain in a motherfucking
ass. Yo.
So tonight, this is not only going to be informative, but this is every jab we're able to get onto Kazi. Any type of barb or anything like that we can do to make Kazi's leaving us that much more fun. We are going to take the time out to do it, yo. So you're like, yeah, Meredith said, boo.
Hey. Yo, it's all good. Like, this is the thing, man. We've been together going on 4 years now. This show started out, we was just sitting on the couch, having a good time, man, talking about, the issues in the world. And what's crazy, because we were like, this show was born of the energy of around the time when these police involved shootings really started.
Right.
When it's not when it started, but when it really hit the mainstream, that this was like a problem that we were seeing weekly, daily. Now that we got like camera phones, that like every week it was going to be something new. And we made this show in that moment almost 4 years ago, and here we are 4 years later in kind of like the culmination of like those events continuing to happen over and over. You know what I'm saying? And where we are in the world right now. And so, me leaving this show isn't saying that it's not necessary more than ever, and that the voice and the things that y'all continue to bring light to and to have fun about it and laugh as Black men and and as people to come on and enjoy that, it's going to continue to go on. You know what I'm saying? But it's been a beautiful function, man. We started this out just having fun with it. Who knew it would go this far,
Right.
And it's gonna keep flowing. So,
Yo, man, we started off like you kind of said. It was like, yo, this is like, if y'all don't know the history behind Intelligent Ratchet, it was almost maybe about a year and a half after we had stopped Sunday Night Sessions, after Sunday Night Sessions had officially closed down. And I'm saying, me and Kazi say what's up to each other whenever we see, right? And he was like, yo, Bishop, Facebook is about to come out with this new Facebook Live situation. I want to jump on it, right? I said, all right, what's up? He said, yeah. And he kind of explained it to me, like, oh, a word. And I was like, okay, that's cool. Let's go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? I'm down with it. Because anytime Kazi says anything to me, it's always a good idea. You know what I'm saying? He don't have to pitch it. He try to pitch it anyway. So he's like, yo, Bishop, yo, I got this new idea on Facebook. They're about to bring down this new technology.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, what's up? Yeah, let's go. So we did it, man. We went into it and was like, yo, this is the format. We did the promos and everything like that.
Yeah.
And we were excited. Like, remember, we were excited to have 100 views. Like, I think the first episode got like maybe 300 views by the time it came down. Like, we was like, oh shit, we got 300 views, right? And it was like, it was going in and out. We had to upload it like 3 or 4 times. We still haven't had to sign a Hanu back show, which we got to do that. And it was, and then like we did a couple episodes, and Facebook called. It was like, we didn't know you could do this with it. And they sent email.
That happened. That happened.
Emails and
Nicholson Research hit us up like when it first came out, and it was doing numbers and was kind of like, yo, like we haven't seen anybody using it the way that y'all are using it. Like that happened. And I remember that moment. That was you just knew that we felt like we was on to something as far as, just having an honest platform. And that's what we said, that's what you know, I don't think we fully realized at the time, but it's like, oh, okay, where else can you hear brothers talk this honest and this real? And you can be a third party to that conversation, a fly on that wall. And at the same time, and you know, people, what we say, Ratcheteers, everybody at home is family. They can interject and we can have this conversation. Where else do you get to do that? You know what I mean? Where you get to sit down and actually talk about like how you feel about what you're seeing out here and how it affects you in your life and your world, and taking this thing that, you know what I mean? Just taking this thing and flipping it on its side and making it into what we wanted to make it into, man. And that's you know what I'm saying? That's not going to stop. And the chemistry of it, the laughs we've had, you know, I'll just say this, man, you know, it's a format now that's, you've seen a lot of people jump on it. And I think we, you know, kind of set the wave on that, and it's all good, you know,
especially in North Carolina. We did that. Like if anybody doing a Facebook Live podcast or what we doing, they are children, like true story. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know what I mean? And the only thing that I feel bad about is that we were not invited on everybody else's show as we invited everybody else and everything like that. We got a question. Because we're gonna hit those up because before we get into some topics.
Okay, right on.
What's your favorite moment in episode? I'll let you go first on this one, guys.
Oh man, there's so many throughout the years. There's been some great moments. Let's see. I'll just say this. I'll kind of put it categorically. On the special interest tip, like celeb tip, you know, just some of the things that we were able to do. With, you know, host the Just Blaze event at Art of Cool. Right. You know, that was special. And then RIP Combat Jack, who set the whole RIP Combat Jack, who set the whole podcast wave, like for at least hip hop and people like myself, you know. And you know, there was that Art of Cool moment with Just Blaze. We were going live there. You know, we did the Royce show at Black Wall Street. Shout out to Tobias. I see him in the comment.
Tobias, yes, sir.
And you know, we hosted the Black Wall Street event with Royce. We got with when Freeway Rick Ross first came home. We got with him on his book tour. Talked to Freeway Ricky Ross. You know, we talked with Steve Schul before, you know, and you know, before the election, and Farad. Shouts out to Farad. And I didn't see, you know, if you watched Intelligently Ratchet, you saw both Durham candidates on our show. You talked to the district attorney, a Black woman district attorney on our show. You know, I'm really proud of what we were able to do, man.
We talked to the chief of police in Chapel Hill.
During the Silent Sam, we talked to Chief Blue. Shouts out to Chief Blue. He came on and we talked to him about, you know, how he was able to perform his job and how he felt personally, and that, you know, even when the Colin we were on when Colin Kaepernick first started kneeling, and we had Law on, and Law is a Marine and an African American. We talked about the duality of how he felt, and that him as a Marine, he fought for the right for you to kneel, you know. And so there's some real shit that we've talked about on this show that I'm really proud of, man. Getting people out to vote. I think we've done a substantial amount of work in promoting voting in Durham, and the diversity of opinion. We've talked to a lot of the leaders in different communities across LGBT. You know, we've talked a little bit. You know, we've enlightened ourselves. Exactly. The process.
Through the process, yes. The decolonization of sex episode was real super dope.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, shout out to Omi, to Oshan. You know what I mean?
That was
the whole clique, you know, over there. So like, you know, I think about those episodes. Then I think about some of the wild moments we had, right? You know, some of the what would you says. Zika Love and
Sex Beard Candy.
Yeah, all of those.
So if you like, we bogarted Durham Beer Supply Company or whatever. He gave us a sample bottle for us to use, and we went on a 15-minute commercial rant for homie.
Yeah, Median's episode has kind of habitually gone down in history as like one of the wildest episodes.
Yes.
Median's episode. I really, if I think back, the G Yamazawa episode was really good. The episode, the episodes we did with Mike Williams and Black on Black were always really, really strong, really strong. So many, man, so many like the people that we had Josie on, we had we had Suleiman on, like Article, of course we had like Tobias and everybody at Black Wall Street over here,
Taylor has been on every Beats and Bars year. We had,
Pierce on, Desan, Sicily, I could go on and on, man. We've had a lot of everyone that's awesome in this community. We took and we got Max on. Max is in the comments. We hosted the Frederick Douglass event, right?
Yeah.
Well, we're part of the panel and discussion at Chapel Hill Library, and
we were.
So all of that from going live on the couch, man.
Yeah. It's been a while. It's been crazy, man. It's been a crazy, but yeah, my favorite episode was probably the Median episode, which was like so much stuff going on in that episode behind the part where you couldn't see, right? Like it was like they cooked tacos, made drinks, played beats. Median just got up and just started vibing out, making a beat or playing the drums and some shit like that. It was a wild episode. That was pretty dope. The Biz episode was cool too.
But I'll say this. My entire favorite moment in this whole process was our Wildin' Out.
Oh yeah.
Our Wildin' Out was funny. That was some fun shit right there, man. That was fun. And to see, that we could like sell out a comedy situation.
Yeah.
I know that's your world, Bishop. That ain't, never been my world like that. So like to see that we could, show up as a unit and sell out a comedy situation and have people like rolling, like that was, it was lit in there.
Right.
Like, a really good time. And to say like, yo, we took our Facebook show to Charlie Goodnight's and sold it out. And twice.
Yeah.
Off a Facebook Live show. You know what I mean? So like that's word.
It's one of the better things. Shout out to the Mevo. You know what I'm saying?
Mevo. Hold on,
we wanted I feel so bad about the Mevo, man, because we wanted that shit to work so well, man.
Mevo, if you watched any of those episodes that were super clear HD, it was in the Mevo. It wasn't the Mevo. You know what it was, man? It was the Wi-Fi at the crib. It was like the software. It was ahead of its time. It would probably work now.
Right. We could probably Mevo intelligently Ratchet no problem right now through StreamYard.
Yeah, it was ahead of its time, bro.
We were very ambitious. We want to appreciate every one of the Ratcheteers because we did a GoFundMe for that. He came through for us, so we appreciate y'all, man. We tried our best with it. It's still there.
Yeah,
we can use it for that shit. So
I mean, shouts out to everybody though. You know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, the one we shot with G, we used the Mevo on.
Yeah.
Shouts out to everybody. This show was straight up just shares on people's timelines, shares on our timelines, and people like, just supporting. People that were dedicated to the show, and just was so dedicated to the movement. We was like, yo, come rock with us, but it just being like, where we started to have this community of people that were watching and sharing, and that's what it was based on, was the shares. We would post it up and then cats would share it. And the shares is where it's at. So the people made this show what it is from, day one. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to, I forgot all about that day. How I was like, nobody used their pee hole in their boxes.
There was a lot, yo.
There's a lot of quotables from the show, that's for sure.
Man, I tell you what, Oh man, there's so many moments, bro. Like we touched on a lot. You know what I'm saying? We touched on a lot. But I'll say this, and then the categories we brought to the table. See, everybody do a Rushmore now.
Right.
Everybody do a Rushmore now. But when we was doing Rushmore, everybody wasn't doing Rushmore.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? So everybody do a Rushmore now.
You should do a show without the shades.
Now we going out the way we came in, baby. Going out the way we came in. You know,
the shows with Kazi without. If you go back, if we could go back, the shows they did not do well.
They crashed. the Wi-Fi straight crashed.
Right? It just didn't work.
and that speaks to how janky it was, because remember them first episodes, it might drop like 3-4 times and we pick back up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And
that shit about
Like It Up. Like It Up was the gasoline back then, you know.
Like It Up.
Yeah.
Like It Up. We live too. The We Live is always
we live. Like It Up. And you know, like I said, the categories that we brought to the table, what would you say?
Yep.
Either or. That's what the fuck you get.
That's what
mean shit to say.
Mean shit to say. Asshole of the week.
Man, we had some joints. The Kazi rants.
Yeah, I always go off on a rant, you know.
Kazi rants was awesome. You know what I'm saying?
Emotional. Everybody know that. I'm emotional. So it's been some solid moments. It's been some,
man.
You know, I think about around the time that my son had his first active shooter drill at his school that I went off on here.
That was a crazy show. You got an argument that night. That was awesome. That was that was the real argument on air. Like everybody thought that was just us being debate. No, we actually got an argument on that show. It was like it was hot in the room.
I mean, it wasn't you, man. It's just the subject matter. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, it's always love.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? The subject matter was just high intensity. You know, when you talking about your kids getting shot at school, you know what I'm saying? And it just was just wild because my son had just had one of them drills. And I was like, man, the fuck? Because see that there's nothing being done about it.
Right.
And it's a lot of empty rhetoric. And then it hits home when your kid's in like first, second grade and they got to do an active shooter drill. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. But we spoke on that on here, you know. So love is love, man.
I think one of the doper ones too we just recently had was our versus battle. If y'all didn't tune into that, the versus battle was really dope during the Corona season or whatever.
But you know what? We would be remiss if we didn't talk about one of the most magical things about this show.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna talk about Danny.
The Ratchet effect.
The Ratchet. Oh,
if we talk about it on here, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna start trending in the next 24 hours, next 48 hours. Is it not? Is it not?
Oh yeah.
We got LeBron his contract. We got LeBron his contract. We talked about LeBron's contract on Wednesday. Friday they gave him 90 mil. They was
right after we talked about it.
Right after we talked about it. Yeah. There's been a bunch of stuff that we done brought up, man. What else was on the Ratchet effect, man? I remember the tone of Intelligent Ratchet after Donald Trump went in, because we came in right during his term. Well, right. his hopefully his only term, but his first year in office. We came in right in after that.
Yeah, been, you know, man. I don't, you know, I'll just say this. Because I don't want to act like the show is over, you know.
Oh no, the show is not over.
No, it's not over.
You know what I'm saying? And so
we're going to be here every Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? We're still rocking it.
Right on.
Kazi is going on to do other things in media. I don't know if you know what I'm saying, but he will be back. He will be stopping back in and all that stuff. He just won't be a host where we have to, when we get sponsorships, pay him any money for it. So that's, you know what I'm saying? That's all it is. That's all it is. We're going to split our shit 3 ways. You know what I'm saying? I'll be the leader. And you know what I'm saying? We'll ride this motherfucker into the sunset.
But, yeah, you know, I'll just say this. I'll be announcing a new format very soon that I'm excited about, you know, so it's part of the reason that I won't be here, but I'll be launching a new format. It'll be a show dedicated to voices in the community and talking about continued, you know, discussion of the topics that, you know, that we focused on this show and what's going on right now in real life out here in our world and just, you know, so it's going to be dedicated to that. So I look forward to sharing that with you when it is ready to present. But yeah, look for me to you know, have a new format where we'll be talking about those issues coming very soon. So people looking out, everybody out there that checks for me, look out for that announcement. So for sure.
And then, just because Kazi leaving, don't forget about us. You still love me too, because I need to think. You know what I'm saying? We better have all 21 of y'all motherfuckers back next week, or I'm gonna personally go through everybody page who didn't share this joint. Y'all know I'm petty like that. I'll come visit. I'll come to your house. Why you watching Trilogy Ratchet? Tell me now. Show me your DVR. Nah. We always gonna be here for you. So you know what I'm saying? Like I said, the Kazi will pop back in every once in a while. You know
when it's time to launch the show, or when it's time to launch what, you know, I'm gonna come back and
tell us about it.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'll be your first guest. Come on, and there you go. Boom. See,
there it is.
Yep.
Y'all better not go nowhere. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at you. I'm seeing your comments now.
And Kazi, we gotta have you back once the album is ready. I mean, I know you were talking about it, but once the album drops, we need to hear it, man. We need to see you up here talking about it, showing us where we can find it, and putting everybody up on your new body of work. You already have a name for it, by the way? That you can share?
I don't. That I can share. Yeah, no, I don't.
Where the music at?
It's coming. It's coming. You know what I'm saying? Because like I've been working. I've been in the studio pretty heavy, like, you know, during this quarantine. So it's one of them things where it's like, I know we're gonna get it together and drop. It's probably gonna be in that Black Kennedy 2 theme, you know what I'm saying? In that type of respect, with a lot the material being reflective of what's going on right now. Me spitting. This first go round gonna be me spitting. We're gonna have some fun once we can all be back outside and enjoy each other's company. I got another little stash of songs I want to put out, but right now we need to talk about some things and have some real content. So I'm gonna put out some music like that.
Were you about to say something, Just?
Just making sure y'all can hear me.
Yeah, you can hear me. You sound good, Just. You sound like your regular stuff.
Is mine?
So, I want to jump into some topics, man. I want to jump into some topics, yo. I want to jump into
let's have a show. Come on, now.
We'll have a show, man.
Have a show.
All this other shit that we talking about with this.
I'm gonna leave and come back on. So y'all just.
Oh, you leaving us already? See, look at this.
No.
I'm out.
I'm gonna switch to this other format because my light keeps cutting in and out on this. So I'm gonna go to the other format.
All right, Joe. So we got this joint where scientists estimate that there could be 36 communicating extraterrestrial civilizations in the galaxy. 36 communications, meaning that they're motherfucking extraterrestrials. Will Complex has just said that they're thinking that it's a strong limit that that there are other civilizations that came out during the same time that we did, within the 4.5 to 5.5 billion year mark. So, fellas and Ratcheteers, do you think we visited this before, but now it's starting to show that there could be. And when they say communicate, they mean that there are radio signals being shot from 36 different planets. Kind of like what we do. You know, if you play the radio, that Wi-Fi, your new pictures and all that stuff, they got to go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So we saying that it's radio. We got radio signals from aliens. What we gonna do? How we doing? How we feeling about that in 2020?
Yo, you know I love aliens. What we talking about? The 36.
36.
The 36 universes.
The 36 communications galaxy aliens.
You know how I feel. You know how I feel about this. I'll reiterate it since please. Listen. Definition of the universe: never ending, infinitely expanding. Okay, like I cannot, like my mind personally, detached from ego, cannot allow myself to think that I'm the only thing living in the entire universe. I just don't feel that way. Number one. Number two, we were so busy looking at murder hornets and COVID and destroying racism, we didn't even pay attention to the fact the government and the Air Force just like declassified all these UFO, like authentic UFO footage. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, here's 3 pictures, here's 3 movies of UFOs, and everybody was just like, yeah, bro, all right, murder hornets, COVID, I'm busy, like people dying. Nobody even paid attention, right? So if you there's kind of been a lot of soft disclosure going on in the background. Us building a space station, these trips, like, all the things that have been going on. And so, like, I just feel like it's been soft disclosure. I saw they've mentioned now like twice that we've seen planets that are like 36 million light years away that have Earth-like properties and rotate a sun and all of that shit. A star that's similar to the sun. It's literally, I think, and another interesting piece of information that I noticed was they said that for like 158, 159 days, there's been this signal that they've been receiving from like millions of light years away, but it's been coming. They've been sending it every day, for like the last 158, 159 days. So somebody out there is sending something. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Now, I believe honestly, like, you know what I'm saying, if you want to, I go by the Ripley Scott, you know what I'm saying, whole, like, I kind of believe in the evolutionary Ripley Scott situation that, you know what I'm saying, that all humans were a labor force on this planet, and then we spazzed out, and they was like, nah, fuck it, we gonna leave him here. We got, you know what I'm saying, because if you think about it, it's kind of like everybody has the grades and all that stuff, and so I think what it is either one of the two things. Either we were planet here, you know what I'm saying, planet here, or whatever, I truly believe, I'm starting to think, is like we came from Mars, we're the Martians. Mars got messed up because everybody knows that Mars still had the same had an atmosphere at one time.
Yeah.
So
and there's no water on Mars.
We came over from Mars or whatever. The colonate stuff went awry, then we back, you know what I'm saying? Or you know what I'm saying,
what we do, we marked the dinosaurs, or what happened to them?
I think what happened was, we came through, like, if you think about, like, if you come in, it's like, we want this planet. Right? If we left right now and said, yo, we want to go to the new super Earth or whatever, KML 13 or whatever they call it, right?
Yeah.
You go there, we find out that it's big dumb lizards on that shit. You know what you're gonna do? You're gonna blow them up on the planet.
I really think there's a disconnect somewhere in our history between us being here and yeah, P, we can't hear you typing.
That's not me.
No, I mean just. Okay, you typing just.
You typing just.
I think there is a disconnect between what happened between evolution and the dinosaurs.
Right.
I don't know what happened there.
No, what
they say happened.
They came through. They saw some sexy monkeys. They jumped on the sexy monkeys and they made human beings. Say, hey, come here, sexy monkey.
Some puppy monkey babies.
Baby monkey babies, you know what I'm saying? You get human beings.
So we're hypothesizing that some of these ancient structures that we don't have an actual explanation for, like we mentioned the pyramids or those I can't think of what the Sphinx and things of that nature. We're saying that your hypothesis is that aliens may have created those things in honor of themselves.
No, I think that we had. I think what we have is this right here, because because anybody that watches Ancient Aliens, you know what I'm saying. If you've seen that show, you haven't seen Ancient Aliens, you are doing yourself a fucking disservice by not watching that show. Right. But
the Anunnakis.
Yeah, he like my man with the hair like this. He like they come through, they came to the place, and they do. Yo, I love that dude because he talk English perfect. Then his accent. But they say that it just may be more. The technology was more in touch with the Earth than it is right now. So they were using forms of technology to like magnetism and other natural things due the technology that put things into place. Because it's like some of the stuff that you like the way things were cut and everything like that could have been were cut so precise you couldn't have done that with man-made tools or anything like that. So
I'll say this, and I'll say this too. I feel like for years it's been kind of out there about like extraterrestrials and aliens and things like that. And it's been like kind of soft disclosure, right?
Right.
Like right now, if you had to draw an alien, what would you draw?
Big old
head, the big eyes, the long fingers.
Why do we know that?
Because
we've been programmed. We have been soft programmed with that image of aliens our whole life.
And this is before the internet.
Before the internet.
Before the internet.
If you would have asked me to draw like what I think aliens look like, it's gonna have that big old head, them little beady eyes, and then like that little, like you see it, and like that's been our image, what's been given to us, I feel like, as soft disclosure for years and years and years about like what extraterrestrials may look like. I also feel like, when you're president, it's like you get to look into the like, the lost ark.
Right.
You kind of get that information, like who shot JFK. Are there really aliens? Like what happened to the Lindbergh baby? Like I think you be able, the CIA, you get to look into those documents. And I feel like Trump saw something, even though he kind of, does things that sometimes are deemed irrational. I feel like Trump saw something and said, we need a space force.
Right. Space force.
Dead ass. I think that he saw something because he was like, when I'm president, I'm declassifying all the UFO shit. He had said that when he was first running, like, when I get in there, I'm declassifying all UFO information. And somebody was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. But he wanted to declassify it all.
Right.
And so for him to jump into office and say, I'm going to start a space force, I feel like he is privy to some information that warrants, I'm not saying he's, I'm just saying, I feel like he knows something that we might not know. Yeah, exactly.
Yo, well, I want to ask a question. Are we ready? Are we ready for aliens, man? You know what I'm saying? Are we ready for aliens? Are we ready for the fact of non-humanoid aliens? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, are we ready for the Men in Black aliens? You know what I'm talking about? Like the one that's like, because we thinking what we're gonna see is we're gonna get the little green humanoid man. But now, what if we get a fucking worm? You know what I'm saying? With
Pinky in the brain,
like a big ass worm or whatever. With like, you know what I'm saying? With knee arms or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
some Moonanites. I don't know if y'all ever used to watch Aqua Teen Hunger. Boy. You get some Moonanites. I am an Ignat, and this is and this is we come from a race far superior to yours.
Right.
Yeah. We get something like that.
Are we ready for that? You know what I'm saying? Are we ready? aliens.
Not at all.
Hell no.
Not even a
We
little
can't
bit.
even get along with our own species.
But I think, do you think that the showing of aliens will bring us, because that could be a glue factor, right? Because when you say, you know what I'm saying, this mug is coming down, you know what I'm saying, the Ball-Chinians.
Ball-Chinian.
The Ball-Chinians.
When the Ball-Chinians come in, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my
I think we go get together, man.
I am Chestnut from Ball-Chinia.
I am
from the planet of Ball-Chinia.
My name is Saknar from Ball-Chinia.
Scrotero. That's like a Mortal Kombat character.
He said Scrotarian.
Scrotero wins. Scrotero wins. Flawless victory.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Are we ready for the Ball-Chinians to run through, yo?
We
Not
ain't
at all.
ready.
Not a little bit.
We
Think
ain't
about all right.
ready.
So if we peel back the layers here just for a second and think about the amount of Americans who own guns, right? Let's just imagine that these aliens have have skin and blood, and they can be harmed from regular stuff, right?
Right.
Let's put that in perspective. Let's say they're not fully prepared, like Predator. They ain't coming up here with bulletproof armor and shields and shit. So let's say go ahead.
I feel like their technology is gonna be so far because I'm a space dude. Like if anybody know me, I be on my space shit, so I pay attention to all of that stuff.
That's the weed.
That too, you know. But I go down the rabbit hole,
right?
You know, so that this is one dimension, then there's other universes. This is one of several universes.
Hey, yo, Kazi,
I do subscribe to that theory.
I want to make a point on that one after you finish your point about that, because I have a question to ask about that. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah. But just talking about like one of the videos that I watched, it was an F-14 that was keeping up with one of the UFOs, and then it was like the UFO kind of was like, "Oh, that's cute. Let me stop playing." And it shifts a gear or hits something and it accelerates. The F-14, you hear the fighter pilot, he's like, I'm wide open. And it left him like, he said it was off his radar in like 2 or 3 seconds, how fast it took off on him.
Right.
And when you watch the video and you slow it down, it's like the shift does this like inversion. It's like the middle of the ship like shifts up like this, and that's what makes the acceleration. It's just something in geometry that it does that makes it take off. And I think that's what we're talking about. We're talking about cats that are the laws of physics and the energy and the things that already are present, that there's an understanding of that element of physics and inertia and motion that we don't have yet. I think it's that. I think it's on that type of level. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily think they're just going to come in because I just think it's that application of technology that we ain't. How much of our brain are we using?
What, 10%? 20%?
It's that shit.
Right.
It's that shit that I think that if they got that big ass gray brain, they're probably using all 100% of it.
No,
we're using 10% of this pea shooter.
What I'm saying is this, right? But okay, back on the crazy level. But you know they're saying now that the Greys are not an actually alien species. They're androids. They're the whatever they use, the real guys.
Right.
That's what the real guys send the Greys out. They be like, go ahead, you get the Greys out. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. But okay, on a dimension level, I'm thinking this too, because I'm thinking that maybe it's not aliens, maybe it's just travelers that are able to be interdimensional. And then because we could delve into the Marvel universe a little bit on how you can have all these superheroes in Marvel, and you like, why don't they run into each other? Because they're actually on different parallels,
right?
Different parallels of the universe. So I wanted to bring this up due to everything that we're going through. So if we believe that there is a reverse world of this world right here.
So, did you not see the report that they thought they found a parallel galaxy that is a reflection of this one that's going in reverse?
Wow.
I'll put it in the chat. It's funny you say that, Bishop. That story published like about 2 weeks ago. They thought that they had found like this mirror galaxy of this shit that's running backwards in time. That's one thing. The other theory that you speak to, that there's parallels, that's a whole theory that there's multiple dimensions, and that there's a version of yourself in each one of these parallel experiences.
Right. It's a version where our Dr. Kings didn't die. Where
different choices. It's all the infinite possibilities.
There's a White Lives Matter universe.
There's different choices. That there's a whole different story of like, if I'd have went and played baseball, or if I would have you know what I mean? Just different things that, like, if you would have committed to them or done them differently, different choices if you would have made. If you'd have married your high school sweetheart, Bishop, or P, if you would have, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's those different things, like whatever your first job was, if you went all the way to management and made that your career, like that there's these different parallel universes of ourselves that exist. That is a theory.
Is there a version where Kazi signs to Rock Nation? Is that a alternate universe?
I think there's a universe where I signed the Def Jam. No, I
signed it is. That's all I was waiting for.
You know what I'm saying? I was the last member of the Wu-Tang Clan. I think.
And my gluten-free crack career would have took off. You know what I mean? I would have had gluten-free crack. You know what I'm saying? All through the world, everybody's smoking Bishop Omega gluten-free crack.
Yo, can for real though.
Yo, all jokes aside, Bishop. If again, what we talked about last episode with the getting into the cannabis industry, could you imagine that your name would be a good cannabis y'all smoking that Bishop Omega?
I was smoking that Bishop Omega, man.
I don't even smoke, but that sounds like some G shit.
You out here smoking that Bishop Omega?
Bishop Omega.
It's like Coke 45. Bishop Omega works all the time, half the time.
Yo, I wanna touch on something too real quick while we on here, man, because RIP to the homie Rayshard Brooks, you know what I'm saying? Sure. And I know we had talked about it off camera. And after I looked at the whole thing, because when we talked about it at first, I had only seen the video pick up from when they was scuffling.
Yeah.
You know, I go back now and I see that they had the man stopped for about 30 minutes. And, you know, that he was very compliant, and how it went from him being super compliant to them on him trying to, like, I don't know, bro, you know. And when I seen Sean King video made a super strong point, because he posted a video of this white male that had killed 2 people in the church and was running around naked. I don't know if y'all seen that. He was running naked down this highway and the cops were just corralling him. It was like 30 cops corralling him and nobody would shoot at him at all. And he ran up and down that road with a weapon for like almost an hour. And, you know, when you're talking about a person that fell asleep because they were drunk, and then we talk about what type of response is appropriate, and what we're asking police to do, and what our expectation is, and then what they're showing up and doing in the process, right? Because and the reason I say this is because, you know, the last post that I made, and I'm done preaching on Facebook, is about defunding the police. You know what I'm saying? Is in the regard of not totally doing away with policing, but just to bring light to the disproportionate amount of money that's budgeted solely to that platform, when we're lacking people that could show up as a mental health responder
as a wellness, a different situation. That a lot of times cops are showing up to address situations like this, where it's more a wellness situation. If you care about your citizen, you would show up, make sure they were okay, find a way to get them home, right? The problem is he's drunk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's the issue, right?
Right.
And if his car is parked and I'm having a conversation with him and he's a tax-paying citizen, it could go, if I care about his well-being, I'm trying to get him home safe. If I care about putting something on the books because I can make my quota, or I can get another, I can put a DUI on the book before I go home tonight.
Right.
And if this MF ain't gonna be compliant, I'm gonna tase him and I'm gonna shoot him when he try to run away. What's the function of policing at that point, right? Because I heard the 911 call. The girl in the Wendy's called and just said, "Hey, he fell asleep in a place in the drive-through and the cars can't get around him. So I just need somebody to come get him to move." That was it.
Yeah.
I think he's asleep in the car.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen worse. This is like a thing. I saw a dude fall asleep in Cali at a Taco Bell drive-through, and they showed up and popped like 16 shots into his car because he fell asleep in the drive-through at Taco Bell.
Yeah.
So this ain't the first time I seen a cat fall asleep somewhere like at a food or a Wendy's or a fast food spot and get like murdered by police.
Right.
But when we're talking about how funds could be reappropriated, imagine a situation where that happens and you call a wellness or mental health officer,
right,
who then comes out and says, "Are you okay?
Right.
You drunk? Well, let's get you a ride home. Is there somebody you need me to call for you?"
Yeah, someone totally.
You see what I'm saying?
Someone unarmed. They're the official. They're saying, "Yo, we're not here to arrest you. We just here to make sure everything is okay." Or I would say this too. Let's, instead of, because like I said, I'm not big on like getting rid of police altogether. But again, if you're gonna take that money, then put it back into reform. Put it back into training more often. Let's give them more hours in the classroom. Then let's give them more hours where you're not going to get into police. You're not going to be out of the police academy in what is it, 21 weeks or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be there for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Let's give 2 years of education at this point in time, and then let's put you in the street. Let's put you in the street. You know what I'm saying? As a as a community ambassador first, and then we'll give you your gun and your badge and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I agree, Bishop.
But
everybody ain't cut out for it. I don't think everybody's cut out for it either. You know what I'm saying? I don't think everybody's cut out for the job.
Not at all.
And we've the way that policing has gone on, and we have some very good cops, but for those that choose to not follow the rules, there's no accountability for that, and they know it, and that's what makes it too dangerous, because it becomes God-like. It becomes like the hand of God. It's like I can do whatever I want to you without reproach, without any type of having to be accountable. I can come into your crib, shoot you in your sleep 8 times, and I won't even lose my job.
Right. And look, and then so you're using the Breonna Taylor example.
Yeah.
They put a law in place saying that they are banning no-knock warrants, and I'm not sure what state is that she was in. I can't think right a second, but they said they put that on the books. They name it after her, and the cops that shot her still have the job. They haven't come up with any charges.
Right. And I want to address something that Larry said or whatever. You agree with what you say, but don't resist. Okay, I'm gonna say this right here, Larry. Have you ever been in someone's house and they have a massive pit bull and they say he don't bite?
Right.
Now, you know what I'm saying? He don't bite, but you still take off anyway, and that dog gives chase. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those situations where the fear is already ingrained, because what we learning right now, you know what I'm saying? If you talk about like the way pit bulls have been villainized as, first of all, pit bulls are very, very, very friendly dogs. A lot of them are. They just aggressive looking, right? But you still have that fear in you of that, and it's like this because of what's right. You're not petting that, and you ain't petting it. I'm saying it's like this. That's the same feeling black males have with the officers because it's like this. Because you see images of people not doing anything wrong, and the first thing the officer comes up to you, hold on, guys. And the first thing the officer comes up to you and starts questioning you, and then this question is going. First, you're nice, right? You're like, all right, cool, I can handle that. But then you're like, whoa, something's going wrong. Then that fear kicks in. That fear that every time I meet a cop, I could die. Just simple as that. I could die. I remember coming from a comedy show. You know what I'm saying? I think it was in Garner or something, right? Boom, I got pulled over. Just got pulled over because my tag light was out. He just wanted to let me know. But guess what? I could be like this. I'm out here on this road by myself. I could die.
Right.
Yeah. I could die. You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing that comes to my mind. So yes, compliance first. Let's have this conversation. If he would have kept me longer than 5-10 minutes just to say, here's a warning. I'm just gonna run your license real quick to make sure everything's cool. Boom. You know what I'm saying? If it would have went longer than that, if another unit would have showed up, I probably would have been like, fucking, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? I'm gone. Y'all catch me when y'all catch me. Y'all catch me in Durham, niggas. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. You know what I mean? Let's go. I'd rather be in jail alive than out in these streets dead. So it's like it's a real fear. You know what I'm saying? It's a real fear. You know what I'm saying? Of that, especially when you're thinking you're doing everything correctly, and that shit turns another way. And then the first thing you think about is, oh shit! Just last week, you know what I'm saying? George Floyd just got choked the fuck out. You're drunk. First of all, you're thinking irrational already because you're drunk. You're drunk enough to fall asleep. You're drunk enough to fall asleep in a drive-through. That means when they wake you up, you are not the most. You're not going to be on your 100% smartness rates. No, you're drunk as shit. So it's like this. Even with that 45 minutes of whatever, they should just. You know what I'm saying? It was like there was a way they could have handled that. The man didn't have to die. The reason why the charges are coming up is because the taser was shot twice, and they said the cop shot the taser twice. And when he pulled that away from them, the cop should have known, the officer should have known that taser was shot twice because you pulled the trigger on the taser twice. So anything after that, then you know that taser was no longer a danger. That's from an article I just read. They would that, and I was like, oh shit, that's why they're taking it up. Because you know what I'm saying? I thought he tased the other cop, but he didn't. It couldn't. There was no way he could tase the other cop because the tasers has already been shot.
So man, that's a good point. He said they went from talking to him calm to grabbing his wrist. I mean, if somebody latch on to you suddenly, especially if they talking real, hey, what's going on? Hey, get on the wall. What? Huh? Right. Like you're gonna have a natural response to jerk away. I mean, right. And then depending on, and then like Bishop mentioned, like you're already drunk. It's not. Things aren't really lining up perfect in your mind already, and now somebody's grabbing on me. At this point, we're fighting. I don't know why you're grabbing me. You were just talking a second ago. Right. It's just a natural. I mean, most people gonna respond that way. It's just the honest truth. If you latch on somebody, and everybody in this conversation know how uncomfortable handcuffs are, they don't feel good. And somebody wrenching your wrist in the wrong direction. I mean, what are you expecting them to do? How's it go?
I feel like. In this case, it's a little different than the others, just because there is a part of it that turns into an altercation, and that's what a lot of people were going to argue with you about is the part of it that turns into an altercation. I would still argue that officers, when they show up to do their job, what's their intention? I think that's what we're talking about is how people are being like, what caused this, right? Is because when they showed up, they didn't see a person that, hey, Larry, have a good night, man. Thanks for checking in, man. When they pulled up, did they pull up and see a person in distress that needed help, or did they pull up and see a perp? Right? Did they show up and immediately see a perp? After 20 minutes of this stop going on, at that point, were they helping or were they hurting the situation, right?
Right.
And when you're talking about like there was an altercation and he still ran away, well, we're talking about what constitutes a deadly use of force. What constituted killing him when Dylan Roof killed 8 people, 9 people, and he's alive?
Mhm.
What constitutes killing a man that all he did was you found him sleep in a car and he ran away with holding your taser when Buddy that busted in the Batman movie killed 12 or 15 people and
And
he's
they-
alive,
Exactly.
right? What constitutes killing him when all of these other people that do these heinous crimes are alive and this person ends up dead over like
Yeah, he
a
did.
traffic, you know what I'm saying? A stop. And so with us, it always goes straight to deadly use of force. And I think that's part of what we talking about here. With us, you getting shot. And yeah, if you run, like, and that's the thing, it was because we're talking about, yeah, if you ran or if you got in that. But like I said, I just watched the video on Sean King where a dude killed 2 people, 3 people, and then ran around naked with a weapon for like an hour, and they still found a way to restrain him.
Yeah.
They find a way to restrain people when they want to, but when it comes to African Americans, it's going to go right to deadly use of force if that officer finds himself in a threatening situation.
It's a good point, Tim.
So let's get this straight. The drunk guy needs the
Right. Yeah, I mean, you know, that's the thing is, you know, I feel like it's part of what we're talking about here. It's part of what we're talking is that the court's going to side with the, you know, it's not going to take the victim. In this case, there's 11 charges pending.
Mm-hmm.
Got a black attorney general that's handing down 11 charges, some of which carry the death penalty. So it's unprecedented what we're talking about.
Well, I think
in this case, and it's going to come down to those semantics of when they got in the scuffle, when he ran off, he had the taser, what that meant when he aimed it at them. I mean, Just is here. I mean, Just knows all those semantics about what they're training people on and how it applied to. We're talking about Rayshard Brooks' case, man. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, but like as a trainer, like what did you see there? Now that we've really had time to look at it, what did you see in that video, and how do you interpret it?
So I guess starting from the beginning. I don't even know. Man, I get tired of talking about this all the time, especially at work.
Yeah, I feel you, man.
Nah, so looking at the video, you know, everything was fine until because we're gonna get him for DUI or DWI,
right?
And once they put him in cuffs, he started to resist. I mean, people do that. There was 2 officers on one, but he actually seemed to be overpowering both of the officers.
He seemed like he was whipping their ass.
He was. I wouldn't say that. He was using a lot of defensive resistance because he really wasn't punching them until he got up and punched them and ran.
Okay.
The rest of the time, it was a lot of like they're trying to grab him and he's flanking them off of him. But he was pretty much handling both of the officers.
Right.
For those that don't know about the use of force continuum, going up the next level of force, other than grabbing and holds and strikes or whatever, would be the intermediate weapon, which would be a baton, OC spray, taser, like that.
So the way you want to explain that to me, Just, is like you're allowed to escalate one step of force higher than what's being like you're being threatened with, right?
Yes.
Okay. Right on.
Right. So, and it's visibly so, like I said, the officers are unable to maintain control of him. So they're going to try to escalate one level higher.
Okay.
Right. So now they're at their intermediate weapon. Use the taser. It was not effective on him, and then he actually tried to, he grabbed it, he got a hold of it.
Yeah. And was it deployed at that moment when he
starts
when
running.
he had it? Mm-hmm.
Huh? Repeat yourself.
What's up?
He says, say again. He didn't hear you.
Say it again.
Oh, and I said, was the taser deployed at that point? Because when he started running, was the taser already deployed, or was he still a threat to tase someone? I wasn't sure if the prongs were already shot out of it.
But tasers have 2 cartridges.
Okay.
But they said both cartridges are already shot.
If you look at the video, when the officer is chasing him and he turns around and he fires the taser, the one guy locks up and he smacks the car. So that, to me, that's an indicator that he got hit with the taser. Otherwise, he wouldn't have locked up the way he did and smacked that car.
Maybe he caught an ass cramp.
So
though.
After your intermediate weapon, huh?
Maybe he caught an ass cramp. You know,
nah, bro. I don't think he caught. Nah.
Hey, you know what? He could have cramped in a hammy or whatever. So
right.
You never know.
One of them you catch in the middle of Bishop talking about like one of them you catch in the middle of the night.
Ass cramps, yo. You
ever caught that cramp in the middle of the night?
Some of us ain't in shape as you and Just is. You know what I'm saying? You been on the court or whatever, that crossover, that ass cramp up on you, that shit gonna shake you up.
Yeah, you be laying in the bed at like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the night, and that cramp hit. Anyway, you got it. Go ahead, Jess.
Yeah. Okay. And so locked up real momentarily. That's why you see him, hit the car.
Right.
So if that's the case, and they've already used, their presence, they've already tried to use their holds, the grabs, the strikes. None of that wasn't working. Then they go up to their intermediate weapon, and that doesn't work. The next level of force is lethal force. Mm-hmm. So I see why it could have been done. However, he was running. That's the issue I have with it there. Like, he was running, but at the same time, right? Yes, he was running away. So, that's the issue I do have with it. But one of the things I look at is the week before when they tased the 2 people in the car, and
in Atlanta, right?
The attorneys were saying that a taser can cause serious bodily harm or injury, and it's actually true. No, I don't say shoot him in the back. That's why I said I have an issue with the shooting. I said I have an issue with the shooting. They say a taser can cause serious bodily harm or injury. Mm-hmm. So if that's the case, and this person used the taser on the officer, he potentially can cause serious bodily harm or injury to the officer. And one of the officer's jobs is protection of self or others. So that's one of the reasons they're allowed to use force. So if that's the case, then the shooting is probably going to be justified in that way.
Yeah.
Not saying I agree with it, but based on interpretation of the circumstances, that's possibly what could happen.
But do they do this? But are they going to be more cautious with it due to the fact of everything that's going on? Because I think you know what I'm saying, with this one, this is one of those gray areas that when we look at some of these police shootings, like where I think these guys are going to take the lesson, right? They're going to be the ones that's going to take it, and rightfully so or not, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because we got a whole bunch of different factors than within this or whatever, as far as with the grabbing the taser and everything like that. But what they're harping on, like in the article that I also read, was just like, yo, they were like, yo, the taser was already shot twice. Mm-hmm. It was already shot twice. So it was already no longer a weapon outside of a blunt force object at this point in time, right? So I'm thinking that they're going to take that and they're going to try to prosecute for
Correct.
everybody else.
Able
Well,
to
I think
determine
that I think that so yeah, like I said,
if they're able to determine that, then the officer shouldn't have shot him in the back.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So that's what they're saying. The both cartridges were used before he was shot and running away. So both of those taser shots were already gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is this right here. You know what I mean? And he started running away. So if he would have tased the officer, right, and then he tased the officer and say he did that, that was the second shot. You know what I'm saying? Once the officer saying that and he's no longer running away, if he's still running away, shoot him in the back, boom, it's not a good shooting. And I think we can all agree on that.
But he also shot while he was running. I mean, it's a lot of stipulations on how know, people are going to be able to look at
to break down
like a clear cut and dry thing.
I mean, also on top of that, what I'm seeing is becoming an issue is the fact that 2 shots hit Brooks and the other hit the vehicle that had 3 other passengers in it.
Oh,
so
wow.
they could have very easily have gotten killed from the way he was shooting and running.
Right.
And so I feel like that's going to be more or less the thing that's going to get them. Not even just the fact they shot him in the back, it's endangering other citizens as well. So,
and those are
definitely things that right. Those are definitely things that should be taken into consideration. Is the backdrop. You know, I don't care how good of a marksman anyone is. When you're actually shooting under pressure, your body's going to react different. You know, you got to hold. You're running. You know, your adrenaline's up. You know, whether you're sweaty or whatever, and then the target is actually moving. So having perfect target assessment, and you're shooting while stressed, you're going to jerk trigger. You may move left or right a little bit. So. All of that's crucial. So you definitely have to consider the backdrop. You know what else is going on behind the person. So yeah, all of that stuff comes into consideration.
Right, and then he kicked him after he shot him.
Exactly.
That's another thing. It's like it's just piling on.
Oh, he did? I didn't see that.
Yeah.
They said he kicked him after he shot him.
So dude was in his feelings.
Yeah, he was absolutely in his feelings.
Dude was in his feelings,
and that shows it.
Dude was in his feelings. Then
they showed it.
Yep.
So my thing
dude
is this
definitely his feelings.
Right. So, but I think what it is this right here, because I keep on thinking about Tamar Rice, right? And I'm like, they're going to, you know what I'm saying? It's like this. I think that what we need to do is this right here. We need to take a deeper look back into some of these police killings. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to take a longer look in the Sandra Bland case. You know what I'm saying? We need to take a longer look into, you know what I mean, Castile's case. We need to take longer look into these things where you cannot justify these killings anymore. Like when law changed, you shouldn't be able to because there's no reason why a 9-year-old kid should be dead from police shooting. I don't know any. I mean, we're not in some you know what I'm saying, country where they got child soldiers. You know what I'm saying? I don't think a 9-year-old is going to pop or even if they did have a real gun, have the trigger strength and then the wherewithal to hold down a gun that's going to be able to do you bodily harm or shoot you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like one of those things. And
okay, you think that, but you say that right now, and I get what you're saying. But talk to somebody that's been deployed to, the Middle East, and they got kids shooting guns and women shooting guns and little kids throwing, Molotov cocktails and grenades or whatever. So, they'll.
Hold on, Josh. You came out. What's going on?
A different perception is going to action is going to be different.
But again, should that person right there be? But that I don't think that person. Yeah, we can hear you. But my argument is this right here. But someone that has that type of PSTD or PSDT, should they be allowed to be an officer? You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna kirk out and flash back to your time in the war, you know what I'm saying? It
doesn't necessarily mean that they have PTSD. What I'm saying is everyone has a different perception. Period.
Right, but I'm saying if you put what I'm saying, Justice is right. If you put me in Afghanistan and I see 9-year-olds shooting, okay, I understand. This is in the backdrop of Afghanistan. We talk about where was little homie from, like Cleveland or something like that. Like how many 9-year-olds are out there in Cleveland or in Durham popping off 45s? You know what I'm saying? Like if you put it in content, it's like nah, you know what I mean. So I think that was a wrong kill. That was a wrong shoot too. You know what I'm saying? I don't think again if we talk about we at war and a 9-year-old pulls out an AK-47 and he bucking in my direction. Okay, he know what it is. You know what I'm saying? He trying to, you know what I'm saying? At that point in time, he stopped being a 9-year-old. He started being an enemy. You know what I'm saying? But a kid playing in the park with a toy gun. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like he had a laser pointer. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that, and trained it on an officer. It was like, you know what I mean? Bam. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? All right, this looks like a laser. This, you know what I mean? This could be whatever. And he shoot toward the laser pointer, thinking it was somebody, and then it happens to be a kid, or it's dark outside. Nah, it was like this. Like, yo, it's a kid. Like, if I hear a kid has a gun, the first thing I'm gonna think off the top of my mind is like, okay, the kid got probably a realistic toy gun, a BB gun or something like that. He's out here terrorizing the birds. You know what I'm saying? Second thing is this kid probably got his pop's gun or something like that. Let me go ahead and get it from him before he hurt himself. Not, oh shit, you got a gun. Let me shoot you. You know what I'm saying?
I'm the same way. And you never know when they pulled up on him, he could have been pulling it out to drop it and let it go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want no smoke. Like, you don't know. You don't know, but perception is reality, or at least your perception is your reality. Yeah. And to that officer, his perception was he's pulling the gun out to shoot me. So
what I'm saying? It's like this.
Saying I condone it. I'm not saying I condone it.
Right.
I'm not saying I condone it.
And
I get it.
Right. And my thing is right here. But I'm saying this right here. Like, outside of that, you know what I'm saying? In your mind, like in that cop's mind, I'm like this. How did you think this was going to be a cool situation? You know what I'm saying? How do you think this is a cool situation? You know what I mean? Right. It's like, I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? I don't get like
a shooting is never a cool situation. I don't care what, that's never a cool situation. So I don't think they thought it was cool, but
I think they panicked. I think his shit got really real. But let me ask you this, Just. Is it a thing to say, because I've heard this thrown around, that, oh, well, he ran off, but they had his vehicle and his license. Like, basically, all they had to do was pull up to his crib, is what I've heard some people say, is like, he ran away, but he ran away and left his car sitting right here. So we know where he lives.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna get to eventually.
Like, my thing is right there. As a cop, you know what Bishop Omega would have did as a cop? Was like, we got your vehicle, stupid.
I mean, facts though.
You got your vehicle. Like, yo, you going to jail for assaulting officers? Like, yo,
as an alternative to killing him, because he lit. You know what I'm saying? If that's what we're talking about, that's what we're talking about.
It wasn't necessary.
Right. Whether he was going to get a DUI or not.
Necessity is the keystone.
Right.
So they always say with use of force, necessity is the keystone. So was that action or was that level of force necessary?
Right.
At the time. I personally don't think it was.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like a protester that's screaming at you in your face. That's not necessary for you to spray a protester, like pull his mask down and spray him in the face. Even though it's not illegal, it's still a show of force that you shouldn't be doing, because you actually reached out and knocked down this joint. Yo, what I want to do, we still got some other stuff to talk about. And Candace, touch
on it.
Yes, please. Let's change.
We got to talk about. I want y'all to sit back and listen to Bishop Omega's rant about this shit right here. We have got to stop this fucking cancel culture. I don't care what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
cancel Bishop Omega.
At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? It's like this. J. Cole, like a lot of people out here talking about cancel J. Cole. It's like the J. Cole has done more for black people than anyone. It's just like Rachel. Remember Rachel? Rachel was the head of the NCAACP. She's done more for black people than a lot of people that's canceling her. You know what I'm saying? Like, she ran because she was saying she pretended to be black to get in the NAACP. And I'm like this, and I think about that, like, think of all the good she's done that outweighed her lie of being black. And then I look at this whole J. Cole situation where people are like, well, he needs to, because first of all, No Name put out a post that said, yo, our celebrities should be using their platforms and everything like that. And as a person with a platform, you know what I'm saying? I want to tell you this right here. I don't want you to tell me what to use my platform for. It's my damn platform. I don't have to, you know what I'm saying? Now, thank God I'm more benevolent and I'm more, you know what I mean, woke-ish. And I talk about issues when I don't think issues are fair, but you're not going to tell me how to use my platform. You're not going to put the pressure on me as a celebrity to tell me to talk about what I don't want to talk about. It's still a viable free country. You know what I'm saying? So just because I don't use my platform at the time that you want me to talk about something, it's like this. I don't have to. I don't have to talk about any of these stories on Intelligent Ratchet if I don't want to talk to. If I want to come on Intelligent Ratchet and talk about space aliens and how to make bubble gum and rocket launchers, that's what I want to talk about. I don't have to touch on any of these subjects because this is my platform. I don't have to discuss any of these subjects because this is my platform. I am not obligated to that. Now, if I too want to do it, and then J. Cole, and within the song that he put in, he said, just because I have a degree doesn't mean I'm the smartest. I understand there's more people that are smarter than me, and so on and so forth, right?
Right.
So he was saying, from what I heard in the song, was like, hey, he was more like, not everybody grew up. No, not everybody, you know what I'm saying? He was educated in the Fayetteville school system. That's a lot different than where I come from, where we learned about pro-black. We learned about pro-black stuff from inception.
Right.
You know, because I grew up in a black city with black Muslims. With, you know what I'm saying? This principal was black. The store owners around everybody. I grew up in a black out town. The grocery store were black. Everybody in the grocery store was black. We didn't have that many white people, so we were a pro-black city.
The streets were black.
The streets were
My
black.
gums were black. the back of Forrest Whitaker's neck.
Right, but again, like, but we'll take Cosby for example. Cosby in that same educational place. So what I learned at 8, Cosby didn't start getting into it until he was 18. So what
what you mean? I was already on You Must Learn. Luckily for me, I had a sister that was in high school when I was in elementary school.
What I'm saying, I'm talking about like just off of Black History moments and all that stuff right there. There's certain shit they're not gonna teach in North Carolina that kids is learning up in. Well,
good thing I was in the DC area. You got my timeline all fucked up.
Because you be phenomenal right now. You know what I'm saying? Phenomenal doesn't know anything about black issues. But you know, who's Crispus Attucks? I just learned this person.
This is the first person that was shot during the Revolutionary War.
But you just watched 5 Bloods, so that's how you know that.
Nah,
but listen,
I'd answer that. I'd be like, yo, that's that place that Luke Cage was trying to get into. Remember?
that's the
yo,
joke.
Going to Crispus Attucks, I'm gonna shut it down.
Because the joke is that he was the janitor and he was cleaning up. He was doing his job, and he was at the wrong place at the wrong time.
But at the end of the day, it's like this: you cannot vilify someone or try to cancel them for lack of knowledge. If they have lack of knowledge, then it's your point as being being the super woke. You know what I'm saying? To educate that brother, to say, hey brother, here are the books to educate yourself. Now, if you give the person the tools they need to learn and they still refuse to learn, cancel them then. I don't mind that shit. You know what I'm saying? But if he's in the song, he's reaching out to this shit. He's reaching out to the point of, hey, I'm not the smartest person in the room. Even though I got to agree, I'm not the smartest person in the room. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know what I mean? Not all black people know all black issues. You know what I mean? It's stuff that I'm learning. It's stuff that I'm learning right here just through this whole movement about certain situations that I'm learning, that I've learned. You know what I'm saying? It's something just like this, but people have taken the time out to educate me on those factors. Don't think everybody knows what you know, because we got people like this. We got people that grew up that have parents that were Black Panthers, and they gave you all this knowledge. You know, they gave them that knowledge. And then if you that Black Panther baby, of course you're gonna be set out. You're gonna be set out way farther than anybody else, because you're getting home educated about this shit where nobody else is. So what I'm saying is, and then you can't take that education and say, oh, I'm better than you. No, because you know what that says? That's kind of like being born rich. It's like this: you ain't do nothing to make that money. You ain't do nothing to gain that knowledge. It says more to your parents giving you that knowledge, bigs up to your parents, than more than it says to you. Then you should be using that power that you have to ridicule or shit on somebody else. That's Bishop Omega's rant on the J. Cole situation.
And J. Cole actually released a statement in reference to No Name. He said what did he say? He said that he stands behind every word that was in that song. I said some people assume that they know who the song was about, and that's fine. It's not my job to tell everybody what to do, what to think, how to feel about the work. I accept all conversation and criticisms, but let me use this moment to say this to No Name. I love and honor her as a leader in these times. She has done and is doing the reading, listening, and learning, the path that she truly believes is correct for the people. Meanwhile, a person like me is just rapping. The quotation marks there. He finished by saying that he's not a leader, but appreciates No Name for challenging his beliefs and his point of view, and looks forward to continuing that conversation. So he didn't go in on her like some people thought he might, but just says, hey, look, I don't know it all. Let's have a conversation. Let's just this is me saying I'm open to listening. What's up? You know what I'm saying? Kazi, you was about to say something before I cut you off?
Nah, I was just gonna say, man, that like this is a different era right here, where like you put out a song and then all your fans get in their feelings about it and tell you how they feel. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like there is a degree of like being able to express your art. I'm just coming from the artist portal, that I should be able to say whatever the fuck I want to say on a record and not be like have my whole moral fiber judged. You know what I'm saying? Because you're already holding him accountable way further somewhere than you're holding the Baby or Gucci Man or anybody. And you could say, I'm not a fan of those people, so you look at it different. But you're holding somebody that's already trying, and now you're saying you're not trying hard enough. Like, you're not trying the way I want you to. And that's my problem that's why it's hard to be a conscious artist, because it's never going to be enough.
No.
It's never going to be enough. Common can never be woke enough. Cole could never be woke enough, bro. You know what I'm saying?
And again, can we talk about this though, Kazi? Why are rappers and musicians held to a higher standard? It's fucking entertainment. Now, Kazi, Kazi, now.
But I want to say this because I didn't know, and I'll let you have it back, because I had to inform myself about who No Name was, and as far as like what she's done for the movement and how, what she does grassroots, right? Just off the strength of like trying to inform people and things like that. And so whatever Cole's stance was, I think it sounded like it was uniquely personal in the sense that it was like challenging
himself
out loud. It was thinking out loud. And, but as long as the respect is there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just think that there has to be a room left for art. I do feel that, because you have to leave room for him to be right or wrong. You have to leave room for it to be interpreted without him being able to cancel. Because whether those feelings or thoughts resonate with you, you can't say they're not valid.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? He has the right, and that's and it can be true, and it cannot be for you. And Cole can be flawed. Do you see what I'm saying? He cannot be Jesus. We can have an artist that we love that's not Jesus, that's not perfect, and that can be flawed and that can learn from an experience, and then write a song about his learned experience that everyone will love.
I mean, I'm gonna say this.
And that's what we have to allow for that. I'll say that.
Right
or wrong, we have to allow for the growth in the conversation. But if Cole is wrong, good for the fans and good for his female artists that support the fuck out of him for checking him about it. If they feel like they put money into his pocket and they make him number one, and they feel like that, hey, that wasn't cool, good for them for directing that attention and energy towards him. And I'm sure that, like you said, he's addressed it, and I'm sure that in his music, he will continue to express himself the way he sees fit, bro.
Absolutely.
But he obviously hit a nerve at a time that was sensitive, and a subject matter that was sensitive. It's a song about I don't know how to say what I need to say. Low key, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a song about I don't know what to do or say in this moment. I feel like I should be doing more. So a song about that is like a self-critique in itself.
Right.
You know? So
but I want to say this right here, like on the real, because we all agree music is entertainment, right? But I'm saying this right here, like we have to treat our musicians as what they are, entertainment. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, sometimes we could talk about heavier shit, but I'm gonna tell you this right here. Spike Lee can direct a heavy movie like Malcolm X and then direct a comedy too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like this.
Right.
What I'm saying is this right here. Like we don't despite Spike Lee's wokeness, but Jordan Peele can tell jokes about racist zombies not wanting to eat black people and then make Get Out. You know what I'm saying? And what it is this right here. What I want to do is this right here, and I think we hold our musicians to a certain and especially rappers itself. It's like this. Well, rappers are this and that. Like, and even comes down to the violent part of it. NWO was violent as shit. They were violent as shit. But were they more violent than Rambo or Commando?
But they ain't giving a shit about them. Kendrick and Cole, somebody like that. Somebody that they feel like Nas. I'm just saying the cats that people hold accountable for how woke they acting. Like they expect Cole to buy 1,000 turkeys and feed everybody on Fayetteville on Christmas. They don't expect that from your local trap or drug dealer rapper. You see what I'm saying?
Right. But what I'm saying is this right here. I'm saying those are wrong for that expectation. Because what it is, this is right here. Just like we have a J. Cole, the reason why we need a J. Cole is the same reason why we need a Baby. It's because of the Baby. We need some ratchet shit in our life. We need some shit, some escapism. We need a motherfucker just to talk about diamonds and gold and fucking bitches on scooters. We need a motherfucker that has a song that says fucking bitches on scooters. We need that as well as we need, you know what I'm saying, someone saying fight the power. You know what I mean? Because this duality of people, you know what I mean? We want to be entertained. We want to do, you know what I'm saying? Because they go like, that's very misogynistic the way Cole said it. You know what I'm saying? The tone or whatever. He didn't like the tone. It's like this, understandable. In a sensitive time, there are sensitive people. But it's like this. I say, let's look at Homeboy's whole work. Because y'all, like you said, you are not out here. You're not out here attacking the Baby. This motherfucker's number one all around. You know what I'm saying? It's like this. You're not telling the Baby, hey, yo, bruh, you made all this money. Y'all not going to Wayne and saying, Lil Wayne, you making all this money and doing that shit. And Lil Wayne ain't spoke on that social issue.
Well, he has, but his point of view is flawed, though.
Yeah, he's like,
he did.
He said a white cop saved his life, so he really
Uncle Bob or Uncle Billy or something else like that.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's also the same person that says that there is no
he
such thing as racism. That's Lil Wayne's point of view.
That's what I'm saying. He said he's never experienced racism. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I mean, at the end of the day, but it's like this. But not experiencing it, like I haven't experienced overt racism. But guess what? I goddamn know it exists. I goddamn know it exists. You know what I'm saying? Like no white person has ever come up to Bishop Omega and say, "Hey, you nigger." You know what I'm saying?
Keep on living, buddy. You just keep
on living.
You just keep on living, buddy. I tell you what.
But guess what? But I think God has not put that my plate because he know how I'm gonna react to it. You know what I'm saying?
Tell you what day is it? What day is it? Wednesday. I'm gonna make it happen for you by Friday. I promise you. Hard ER.
Hard ER.
Bring it right to your doorstep, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Ring the doorbell and call it right to your face.
But my thing is this right here. Like, I think we have to allow people to change. And speaking of racists, I think, like, you know what I'm saying, once you're a racist doesn't mean you're always a racist. You know what I mean? I think that you might be racially, like, there's a lot of people that might be super racially insensitive and racist or whatever because they don't know no better. But it's a place where they could change. So I don't think that, you know what I'm saying, if you call me a nigga in high school at 40, then I'd have punched your ass in the face, and that's what you said.
But I'm saying,
I remember one time I did this right here. People, whoever's from Jordan that was on here, but I went to Jordan. You know what I'm saying? This one dude came up to me, he's a white dude or whatever. He's one of my young boys because he's played ball. He really played ball with. He just played with black kids. He said, "Hey," came up to me and told me a joke. Said, "Yo, man, I got black people in my family tree, and they're still hanging there." Now,
woo.
He said that, right? So what I did, and you know, I was laughing, I'm smiling because I know him, I love him. You know what I'm saying? Love this kid. But instead of me punching him in the face, you know what I did?
Body shots.
No, I didn't punch him.
Oh.
You know what I did? I skipped. This is what I did. I took, because he told me this on lunch A. I was in lunch A. It was lunch A. It was lunch B. So what I did, I walked him around the school and had him apologize to every black person that he saw. He said he had to introduce his name. I said, "Yo, what you're gonna do is this. You're gonna introduce yourself by first and last name. You're gonna say this right here. Hey, I told my friend that, you know what I'm saying, that I love. I'm not a racist, but I said a racially insensitive joke, and I want to apologize deeply to you, black person, for me being insensitive to your plight and needs." I made him apologize to 50 people. I walked around the school. Now it's like this, and people did this right here. It's like, yo, why did you have them doing that shit? You know what I'm saying? Now ask me, did that change that perspective? You know what I mean? Because
it definitely did.
He respected me enough to know if he didn't do it, I was gonna whip his ass. And I told him, I said, if you don't do this shit, I'm gonna whip your ass. And I'm gonna whip your ass every time I see you. And then if my arms get tired, I'm gonna whip your ass with the thing. I'm like this. You're not. And I told him, and I said, and this is because I understand that you don't know what the fuck you doing. And he walked around his school. And I'm telling you, I walked him through the school. And if I swear to God, I was like 16 years old at the time. See, this is what I'm saying. This is what affects change. That's what I'm saying. When I say I know what affects change, it's about let's go in and do this. We're gonna do this goddamn work. You know what I'm saying? Right. Now go out here and you apologize to every black person you see while I'm behind you.
Damn. That's just serious.
Yo, Tobias, if he had did that, I don't think he'd have made it through the rest of the day.
The hard ER. Yeah.
They should have apologized to the Muslims and the Africans.
Yo, shouts out to Ethan Taylor, man. I think it was your birthday, man. Yo, happy birthday.
Oh, man.
Just passed like yesterday.
Oh, Ethan finally turned 30. He out here
related.
He got peach fuzz. He growing a little mustache. You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna get hair in funny places, and you're gonna start liking girls.
He got some peach fuzz. Voice gonna start changing. You know what I'm saying? But
shout out to Ethan Taylor, man.
Yeah.
Where the music at, Ethan?
But yeah, happy birthday to
He's intelligently ratchet, man.
Happy birthday to the OG. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, Gerald, I hit you in the DM, man. I gotta teach you how we do it, man.
Technologies.
Some next level stuff. I'll put you on it.
Yo, cash at me right now, Greg, Gerald. I'll go ahead and cash it. It's cash at Bishop Omega. You know what I'm saying? First $100 you send or whatever, I'll give you half the formula. Then another installment of $399. Well, then we'll get you the other formula. And then if you spend another $50, we'll allow you to take Kazi's place as the new host as Intelligent Ratchet.
Y'all should just sell my squares ad space. Just put ads here. You know what I'm saying?
If y'all want ads, you know what I'm saying? If y'all want to take intelligent, you will take Kazi's spot on Intelligent Ratchet as a host. It's a pay host. Can we do that? Is that legal, Just? Can we do that? Can we make people pay to be hosts?
Just have a Durham Beard Supply logo just sitting right here.
There you go.
Sponsored by.
There you go. Just sell it. Boom. Boom. Yeah. What was I talking about though? Hold on, because I lost my track there. Yeah, okay. We were talking about racism, and you said like teachable moments, right? Or just like things like that. Like when we're talking about, I think that's what's dangerous about cancel culture, right? Because how many of us have been given a second chance on something we fucked up on or something that we needed to evolve in, and just depend. I think it has, a lot to do with the intentions, and people gonna learn their lessons on their level.
Mm-hmm.
You got cats like what Jimmy Fallon did. I feel like that was like an honest mistake. He did some blackface. He thought he was funny. Cats
back in the day.
Yeah, cats let him know why that wasn't funny. But Jimmy Fallon employs the roots. Jimmy Fallon got black people all through his staff. He always, you can tell that he's about the culture. So he made a mistake and he admitted to that and said, yo, I should have never done that shit. And now I know why. My black friends have enlightened to me as to why I'll never do it again. I take that as a sincere apology.
Right.
The CEO of CrossFit caught on a call like F George Floyd or we ain't recognize it. I'm glad he deserved to die saying some shit like that candidly and it get caught. I gotta cancel that. Now that's what we reserve cancel culture for.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's the same person that's gonna want every black CrossFit dollar, right? Towards his empire. So I think we just got to be careful what we use it and how we use it because we want it to maintain its power and its equity, which is in our black dollar, in the dollar that says that wherever we decide we're going to stop spending money, your ass will go broke. That's the power of it.
And that's the reason. That's the reason why we're seeing all these companies come out with. That's the reason why Activision and what I'm saying, different games on like 2K and all that stuff. The reason why they got in front of it. Because they did not want to say this right here. Like, there's no doubt about it. Well, if you go play 2K online, there's 90% black people. First of all, the league is 90%. You're playing with all black players.
Right.
Then most of the players on if you go into the joint are mostly black. The culture, the whole situation is black. So there is no way they can't get in front of it like, yo, we gotta say Black Lives Matter. Why? Because if we don't, and it goes and it takes past weeks and weeks and weeks, then guess what? When we make that 2K21, no one's buying that. You know what I'm saying? The people that's going to go out there and buy that shit are not going to buy it, right? And then that's going to change the culture. It's just like Netflix and everybody else. Like, yo, here's the Black Lives Matter section. Because you know what we're not going to do? We're not going to be on the wrong side of history on this one because they afraid. This is how important a black dollar is. That when you say, oh, they just pandering to us. You know what pandering means? That means like, yo, they like, yes, sir, we need you. All right. That's what they're doing right now. And you gotta take it. And what you have to do, you have to realize that's what they're doing. They're saying that we understand that, oh shit, if we piss off black people, we stand to lose a bunch of money.
$1 billion.
Billions of dollars.
Because we
we
got money and we gonna spend it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like part of like who we are, and I think that that's something that in this next chapter we need to start working on. It's all the shit that we're not taught generationally that other groups are taught. Finance and the economics and how that that we maintain wealth, generationally, so you have something to pass on to your children. That's not always part of like what we're taught historically, and so I feel like that's something
because
that,
you know what it was. It was like
know.
this, and it's not our parents' fault because what they did, they learned from their parents, and then their parents, like
Sure.
like I said, like slavery has been over maybe 100, going on maybe 160 years now, going on that. So if you think of that, that's like two grandmamas,
Right.
two long-lived grandmamas.
I mean, my mom is still, my mom is still alive. She went to
Right.
segregated schools. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? Like, that's what I was saying too. When people are like, oh, well, like, what's systemic, what's institutionalized about the racism, and then you go back and you look at these videos of like how they, of the real of what was going on. Where did that evaporate to in the last 60 years?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Those people are all
in the 60s.
Those people are all still alive.
Right.
They became in government officials, judges, loan officers, some police officers. They just evolved, you know what I'm saying, dissolved into these different parts of our society where now my opinion of you as a person is affecting whether or not you get your job, your promotion, whether or not, you're getting accepted to this university, or whether or not, it's all these other factors that now I can hold you back a different way. I'm not going to burn a cross in your yard. I'm going to burn one on your credit.
Yeah.
I'm going to burn one like when you're trying to, you know what I'm saying? When you're trying to get your crib or things like that. And it's like, when you're talking about, when I look at some of these shootings historically in the past, and where there's a heart involved, where there's your basic humanity involved, even when there's fear as an element, I think that oftentimes you'll see that and say that, okay, there was some element of fear, negligence. And then you'll just see some murder, right? Which was what the George Floyd situation was, just some murder. And then you'll see what they did to Ahmaud Arbery. Even in the case of Breonna Taylor, I think those cops showed up thinking that they were showing up to do their job. But it's their job to get that shit right if you're busting in at 1 a.m. and you're going to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to be right. And so for Louisville to fire the person that issued the warrant, I understand. But then to follow up with no other disciplinary action for the officers, even with how the police report was filed, it was falsified. You killed an EMT, so you killed another government official,
right?
A government service worker.
Mm-hmm. Because if they would have accidentally shot, if they would have actually shot the city councilman,
bro, you shot an ambulance worker,
right?
Holy shit! Like it's even disrespect for, you know what I mean? The all EMTs everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? It's disrespect to that. And so I look at the system of what we holding. The thing that's supposed to hold people accountable in certain structures is corrupt, and is subscribing to that element of policing that was made to protect what's in place already.
Let me ask you a question, Okazi. But do you think going forward? That they are not going? Are we going to police? I think what's going to happen is going forward, they're going to start looking. They're going to start taking hard looks at these cases, right?
Uh-huh. Right.
They're going to start taking hard looks, and then they're going to start doing the convictions. And what it is, like, unfortunately, some of these guys are going to get these crazy numbered convictions.
Well, homie can get the death penalty in this Atlanta joint. That's what's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Like he get that's on the table. When you put that, not saying that I don't think he's going to get it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For it to be on the table, but you know what I'm saying. But if for to be on the table, does that put other government
cops on notice?
You know what I'm saying? I think that's what they're doing it for, and they're going to keep it. They're going to, before things can change, they're going to realize that. I think after this Floyd case, when everything goes through, when they convict the police officers there, it's going to set a precedent that we're not. You know what I'm saying? We're not fucking around no more, because they looked at these protests, they're going to be like this, because you got to be a dumbass to realize that if the whole world is protesting in one dude's name, if you don't convict, or this shit happens again and you don't convict, then if this shit won't burn fuck down, it's going to be a bad situation. It's a bad PR move, and then it's putting people in danger that don't need to be in danger.
The closest thing, good point. The closest thing I can think of, and I'm glad Justice here because you can help shed some light on this.
He's too close to his hair, but I don't like it.
The problems, because when I looked at the police reform bill that the Republicans put up, it's a bunch of fluff. Only reason I say that is because like it applies to the federal policing, right? And so it's like, okay, we ain't gonna do chokeholds. There'll be a nationwide database on bad cops. I'm gonna say that's amazing and that's awesome. But when you're getting down to what's gonna hold cops that overstep their bounds accountable, I look at what Durham is doing. Community police, community transparency board. A board made up of community citizens that will examine whenever there's anything like this happens in community, examine the use of force, evaluate that officer's place in the community, his decision making. Like, it's a way to hold people accountable, and that there's a level of at least an effort towards transparency. You know what I'm saying? And I think that is a value. I think that's a value, because if you don't have that in place, and I'm asking you, just how could you be court-martialed? That's the closest thing that I could see. It's like when the Army holds their own accountable for, and something that they've done wrong to disdain the uniform, right?
Right.
Like that's being like court-martialed when you're in the military. Yeah. And I think that's the thing, is like you're saying that like, nah, a normal cop ain't gonna prosecute us. We prosecute this person. We're gonna prosecute that person within ourselves, because we got to keep these jerseys clean. We got to keep this uniform and this badge clean. So we're gonna prosecute within ourselves, because if we look at this case, a cop is testifying against this young man. Mm-hmm. They have a cop as a witness. So that's going to be interesting. This is all, I think, interesting precedent. 11 charges. You have one cop testifying against another cop. We're going to see some interesting precedent set in this situation. You know what I'm saying? And, so it's a lot of determining factors. It's tough. I would say this, man, it's going to be harder to be a cop than ever. Because I think even now, even the good cops,
it shouldn't be, as long as they doing what they're supposed to do.
Right on. But even now, I just feel like even your good guys are going to be
if they're doing what they're
guessing.
supposed to do, they're doing everything within the scope of law and policy.
Yeah.
And it
should be fine, right?
But like I said, it's also about the transparency. Making sure they're getting people with, good moral character, and all of that. So
right.
I mean, my moral character is fucked up, because if I run up in Pinamo Heights, he got $50,000 worth of drug money and crack in it. I'm like, man, why you got this crack in this $50,000? I'm gonna arrest you for this $48,000 in this crack. Man, I can't believe you had this $36,000 worth of crack. I'm like, Your Honor, the perpetrator had 10 ounces of crack and $100.
So, yo, you know what, too, bro? That's crazy. In the sake of sharing information, I want to share this with everybody that's watching, because when I saw the video and I saw it escalating, and I was like, he was parked. What could they possibly have been fucking with him about? And then I thought about it for about 2 seconds, and I said, damn it, I know why they were fucking with him, because it happened to me, and I want to share this information with people out there that don't know, so it doesn't happen to you. If you were sitting in your car behind the wheel, under the influence, parked, don't matter, with your keys in the ignition, you can get hit with a DWI. You can. And that's part of like just knowing the law and knowing that, so you don't. I was parked in Raleigh waiting on some friends of mine to come meet me at Glenwood one time. I waited to drink before I got to the club. I parked in the parking lot of the club.
Pre-game.
Yep. Cut my car off, rolled my windows down, had the key in the ignition, turned it to battery so I could play the radio. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? And so Then at that point, I proceeded to pull out my Patron and pour some in a red cup. And I said, I'll just sip this before we go in the club, pregame. Straight like that. A bike cop in Raleigh pedals up.
Hey man, yo, don't disrespect bike cops, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't run up on him like that. He got a job.
Fuck this kid on this occasion, because it was like 11:30 at night, and I was parked in a cut-off car. Homeboy pedals up on a 10-speed with the flashlight and flashes it in my whip and starts, questioning me about it and this, that, and the third. And I was honest. I said, yo, officer, I'm just waiting on my friends. I just poured a little Patron in here and I'm about to go in this club as soon as they get here. I haven't been drinking or driving. And because he started taking me to task about possibly giving me a DUI or DWI because I was behind the wheel.
Right.
So I ended up getting an open container. I didn't end up getting a DUI, but he wrote me a $350 ticket for an open container.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And
right.
So like just passing on this information to y'all or to whoever out there, because I don't want it to happen to y'all. Just be aware, if you're going to drink in your parking lot, don't do it behind the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do it behind the wheel.
Bring the bottle with you. You know what I'm saying? Or put the bottle in your trunk.
Nah, it wasn't even the bottle though, B. It don't matter if you got a cup or you drinking. If you were drinking alcohol and you were sitting in your driver's seat, you can get hit. That's what I'm telling you.
What I'm saying, no. But then he wouldn't be able to hit you with the open container if your open container wasn't in the car with you.
He didn't see no Patron bottle.
Oh, so you had the cup.
Yeah, I had a red cup.
What I'm saying, though, what I'm saying is right here. What have we learned? What have we learned today? You can't drink your liquor in a car. That's not that. You know what I'm saying? It's like this. I want you to put respect.
Is my point lost on you, bro? Is my point
lost on Bishop?
No, it's not lost on me. I do what I said is this right here. You know, when I pregame, I pregame at the house.
Right.
Or I pregame on the highway, so that way I can get rid of all evidence.
Got you.
Get there.
Got you.
So Bishop is encouraging drinking and driving, not drinking and parking.
My bad for drinking responsibly. My bad.
That shit was not responsible.
What you mean? I waited till I got to the club to drink. You know I was gonna sweat that out by the time I came out.
You're not supposed to be drinking in your car. You're not supposed to have a bottle of liquor in your car and open it. Anyway.
What you mean? I didn't drink it and drive. I didn't drink and drive. Come on now. I waited till I got to the club.
I waited till I got to the club.
Exactly. Yo, it's the semantics. Exactly. Exactly. I waited.
Hey, Just. I feel like Just did bicycle copping too. He got like strong legs and shit like that. Just, you would have rolled up on Kazi. I would have allowed you to tase Kazi right then. I would have allowed you like, yo, tase that nigga for being so stupid.
I ain't hating on because I ain't hating on like
that was horrible advice.
Officer Huffy.
Nah, I'm not hating on bike cops. I'm just saying that in particular on a Friday night at 11:30, homeboy had the nerve to pedal up to my parked car and write me a ticket.
Yo, was the parking lot not busy? Like, what about your car was so special?
It was Kazi, man.
Nah, I was just sitting there playing some music. I don't know what I was playing, some reggae maybe or something, some dance hall. Something like that.
When was this? How long ago was this?
This was on Glenwood. This was probably like 2012.
Oh, 12? Okay.
What club was hot back then? 2012?
I was at Mirage. I was pulling up the Mirage. I was in the parking lot of Mirage.
That's what you get for partying in Raleigh. What have we learned today, ladies and gentlemen? Do not party in Raleigh. No one needs...
I don't do no whole lot of partying in Raleigh and Wake County.
I can't stand it, man.
I'm a Chapel Hill, Durham dude.
Chapel Hill, hold on.
Chapel Hill and Durham.
Chapel, because I'm saying you could live your life in Chapel Hill. Like it doesn't matter. As long as you're not out there trying to sell a baby on Franklin Street, you can pretty much get anything away with anything in Chapel Hill. As long as you're not giving eye contact.
Worked hard to get it this way, Bishop. It won't always this way. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't always that way in the Hill. We worked hard to get it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, Glenn,
You know what?
man.
Yeah, I think Kazi wrote a song after that experience. Am I right, Kazi?
After what experience?
After the experience of the bike cop, I think it went something like this. Hold on, see if I can get this verse right.
Okay.
Yo, said, I'm gonna make it cool to be black
and intelligent.
and speak on something besides BS irrelevance.
That's right, because getting good
grades, dressing real nice, and talking properly is not trying to act white.
That's right.
He said, I was raised on self-respect, honor, and discipline, delivering the message that the hood been missing in. My neck ain't shining and my wrist ain't glistening. I'm not on BET, but my real people listening.
That's right.
Is that how it went, Kazi?
That's right, bro.
He wrote that for the bike cop. That's the
man. Kazi, it's all Kazi right there. It's like, yo, I'm gonna kill him with this verse when I see him again. Yeah.
Yo, this nigga even rhymes polite.
Yo, you There was no inflection of bass in that whole rhyme. That was the most. That is if mayonnaise was an MC.
I didn't do the verse any justice, Kazi. Man, you had to take it over, man.
You did it, man. You did, man.
So, hey, Kazi.
Yeah, man.
Yo, man, we about to wrap this thing up, man.
Right on, bro.
Listen.
Love y'all, man.
Hold on. No. You're not getting off that easy, sir. You're not getting that easy, sir. Okay. Either or.
Let's go.
Here's the question. No. I seen this question in the group. All right. Here it is. It's a rough one. I'm telling you, and you got to answer it. Y'all ready? For all 19 people that still tuned in. All right. And Father's Day is coming up. This is a Father's Day question. Okay. All right. Would you suck a dick if it meant
done? No. No. The answer is no.
Cold right there.
That's it.
He looking real blue and gray.
I can't even. There's no part that comes after that.
Listen,
that reconciles it. Would you suck a dick? End of sentence. No.
To save his life. This your dad, yo. This your little man. It's for you, and yo, I don't want nobody else answering this question. This is all on Kazi. I don't care about your opinions on this joint. It's his last show. We want, yo. I'm telling you, look. I want you to look him in his beautiful face and tell me, you want to try to save your son's life.
Who's
Tobias? No.
Tobias can't. He don't count. He ain't got no kids. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. In what reality is this where I have to do this in order to save somebody's life?
It was a question that was on Facebook. I thought it would be hilarious to ask you on your last show. I normally wouldn't do this. I want to bring that ignorance to intelligent Ratchet.
You're asking me would I do it? You're asking me what I
to save it. It's this right here. This was the question. Would you do it to save your child's life? I don't care, you know what I mean? I don't know if the dude got the gun to his head or whatever, or the cure is in the jizz. I don't know. We go.
You know what I would say to that? How do I? No, sorry, let me talk about. No, I think anybody knows I would do anything for my son. So I would hold my nose and close my eyes.
Good job, Pops. Good, yo. Get Pops.
Yo, this is being recorded.
Lord have mercy. Because what do I say? It's damned if you do, damned if you don't. Nah.
He had to answer it. It was my last question. That's my homeboy.
Yeah. Under no, and I'll just follow that with under no circumstances would I ever do that shit in a million years. And then I'll follow that with under no circumstances would that ever happen. And then I'll follow that with a no way in fucking hell would I ever do it. Just to clarify. There we go. Just so when the sound bite comes back to try to haunt me years
Right.
later, that whole part after can go with it. There you go.
I'm gonna forget about this I'm gonna forget about this by tomorrow. But I was like, I saw that question. I was like, oh shit. Like right after we got out the meeting, when you told us that you would leave it, I was like, oh shit. I said, I'm gonna hit this nigga with this shit at the end of the show. And
That's a hell of a
listen.
that's a hell of a question. That's one for the books. There is no right answer.
There is no, it's the right answer. You save your child. You save your child.
That's what I went for.
Save your child.
That's what I went for.
Child.
Yeah, that's what I went
for.
for.
I got mouthwash.
Right on, man. Right on. Woo! You try to ruin me on the last day of the show. Be like, Kazi came out on Intelligently Ratchet last night.
Or the other narrative is this, right? Kazi doesn't love his son.
There you go. He sacrificed this, live on air last night.
With his toxic masculinity, he said.
Yeah. Exactly. He need to redefine his gender role. Hey, man. Hold on 1 second here because I got a Kool-Aid jammer. Okay, there we go. Cool. Listen.
Hey, yo, I want all the Intelligently Ratchet. Hold on, let me give everybody a shout out that has been on Intelligently Ratchet. Y'all, I want y'all to go ahead and please, if y'all can like the join up, man. Like it up for Kazi, man. Blow these comments up, man.
Hey,
share
man.
this episode.
Appreciate y'all,
You know
dog.
what I'm saying? Tell Kazi how much you love him in the comments right now. We're gonna keep it open for about another 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Give Kazi his roses. If there's a rose emoji, drop some rose emojis in the comments, please. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and give my man all his joints. You know what I mean?
Bo, I appreciate y'all, and I want to say this, dog. Whether you rock with me or not, I get on your nerves. You tired of looking at me, or you rock with me and I'm your dude. Anytime I do some shit, I push the culture forward. I just try to put some effort forward that uplift myself and uplift the whole community. And I think we did that and continuing to do that. But I think that when coming into this situation, that was one of the first things I wanted to do was put forth that energy. Every time we bring a new format to the table, Microphone Monday, people still doing their versions of Microphone Monday. Sunday night sessions, people still doing their versions of that. Now we established like that brothers and sisters and anybody can get on Facebook. And if you tell them what time to meet you and go live, that you have your own talk show, right? Was cats doing that before us? No, I don't feel like they were doing it to that effect. So just to say, like, I'm just going to continue to push the culture forward, man. And I appreciate y'all. Always, Bishop, anytime I hit you and I say, yo, I got a crazy idea, you always down to ride. P, you always down to ride. Just, I've been my brother for over a year now. And, I'm just saying, it's like that, though. That's what I'm going to keep doing, pushing the culture forward, man. Like, I could be selfish, in how I go about it, but I just always feel like access to the community is what I do different, or just allowing cats to empower themselves. Or whatever, you know what I mean? It's one of them things when it's cool and it's hot, when it was the pop and it was the novelty. We was the hottest show in the hood when we first came out. You know what I mean? And so it was the thing to do to be on Intelligently Ratchet. And just like anything, like with time, that type of like, hot, cool, the new hot, cool thing kind of fades away. But the mark on the game, look, Shep, they will never take what we was, Shep.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? All city champs and really push the genre, of Facebook beyond what it was ever intended for. And we're going to continue to, like I said, enlighten and push forward. And I will continue in like my formats to continue to point as this show is where I came from. You know what I'm saying? As far as my voice, as it continues to move forward in news and politics and information, I will point back to this show as where I came from.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Intelligent Ratchet, we ain't going nowhere. We still alive and well. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Damn Skippy, like bro.
But again, look, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Here's some of the memories. Pete, shout out to Pete. Here are some of the memories of Intelligent Ratchet when me and De Facto had the same shirt. We was Kazi's and Fonte's backup dancers. You know what I'm saying? We had the same shirt on during this time. But you know what I'm saying? But yo, best of luck in your endeavors.
Yeah, man. And so like, just to let everybody know, I don't want to give away too many details, but I did, I will be, launching a new radio show. I will be, having a new radio show that'll be launching soon. So I'll be giving y'all those details real soon. It'll be, I'll be hosting my own show. So I look forward to launching that real soon. And for those of you that are my friends on Facebook that have been responding and checking out my posts and just being a part of that conversation, shouts out to y'all. That's been a big part of what I've been talking about with people about the voice that we need out here in the community, and what we're going to establish is like an outlet for us to talk about how we're going to solve some of these issues moving forward, and how we can do that on a local level, regardless of what Trump and our president or upper levels of government can do. Really focusing on what we can do on a local level to handle these situations and talk about them before they trending. You know what I mean? Before it's a problem. Before we have our own hashtag in Durham and Chapel Hill and Raleigh, how we can have our own standard for transparency and how policing works in our community. So I'm gonna be focusing on conversations like that.
Just don't do it on Wednesday night because we'll beat your ass. And like,
facts. I'll make sure.
If you drop your shit on a Wednesday night, we coming for the radio station. It's not a problem.
I'll make sure. Okay, yeah, I'll make sure that we don't butt heads. You know what I'm saying? And I will. And like I said, I will be back. It ain't a thing. I look forward to pulling up as a guest where I can just kind of give y'all shit. You know what I'm saying?
We gonna still you coming in at your own place or whatever. It's gonna be like this. We're gonna expect you to read the news and all that other shit. You know what I'm saying? So you come with topics and all that shit. We when Cosby come, that's when we get to be lazy. We get to get the day off. Like,
yeah. Well, I just think it's this, man. It's like access to information. Like, there's a conversation that gotta happen past where we at right now if we're gonna fix what we calling things that are systemic.
Exactly.
Like, and we got to identify those, and they're not always obvious to everyone. Not even, there's a big disconnect, I think, even in the community of like Martin Luther King era activists and a lot of the ground that a lot of Black people feel like they gained from the 60s till now.
Mm-hmm.
And the game has changed a lot, what we're talking about, because like I said, it's like less overt. And I think that a lot of older people might not be willing to risk what they feel like they've gained.
Right.
To tear up a bunch of shit right now. But people like LeBron are looking at it like, I don't want to play basketball in a world that's like this, where I don't know if Bronny can drive to the store. Exactly. If I don't know if my daughter can go, on a jog. I can't have peace of mind to drop 24 and 10 and give you 8 rebounds if I don't think my kids can make it back and forth safely to school. Right. And so that's where we are in the level of importance of like the social justice issues and the issues concerning Black men and women and people of color. Mm-hmm. And, a lot of our white allies rallying to support that, and people of all races and cultures rallying to support that all over the world. And it's beautiful to see. And there's just still a lot of more work and conversation left to be done. So I'm going to be facilitating that most definitely.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
man. This has been Intelligently Ratchet. This is episode, I don't know what it is.
Look who up too late, though. Look who's up too late.
Why you got no shirt on, man? Ladies on here, man. I'm here with the chest out.
Getting big. You say what up, Co? All right. It's my last episode of Intelligently Ratchet, so. All right, cool. All right. Anyway.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever.
Too cool for school.
Right.
Too cool for school.
But this has been the last episode for the homeboy Kazi.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week. Kazi's gonna be out there gallivanting on Radio Land and everything like that.
Right.
But he'll be back in 6 months. It's okay.
Hell yeah. Get fired, I'll come back. All right.
Go right on back. You know what I'm saying? He will get on that joint and be too prevalent. They like, whoa.
Well, we'll see.
We didn't know he was bringing it real.
We'll see. Yeah, Malcolm Farrakhan on him.
Malcolm Farrakhan. You had the waves going to the side like this. Your waves go.
Hey, I'll say this. My motivation is resolution, understanding some type of promotion and something progressive that we can all do to take action. And if we can't see eye to eye, then we can agree to disagree. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it to end up like the stage on the old Geraldo Rivera show or Morton Downey Jr. where like we're going to end up punching each other in the face. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, like we should be able to have like civil discourse. You know what I'm saying? It's how we're going to get down, because us sitting in the room with people that all think the same way all the time, we ain't going to get nowhere like that.
Nope.
And I ain't scared to go back and forth with somebody about
I'm okay with punching
how
people.
they feel. Right,
sometimes a punch in the face will change your perspective of life.
You don't know what type of man you are.
You are until you punch in the face. You don't know who you are until you punch in the face.
Facts.
That's what's wrong with P9. He ain't got hit yet. P9 might be a full-on thug after he get punched.
You see how they come for you? Always make it about you, P. Always make it about you, P.
Nah, look at Jeff. He worried. He worried in the bottom corner. He's like, yo.
Nah, Justin's tired.
I better not.
Because we've been on for 2 hours and 14 minutes and just worked today. That's what you said.
I worked also. You know what I'm saying? Shoot.
But yeah, man. It's real, though, bro. I appreciate y'all, man.
Shoes on. Just
y'all
got shoes in the back brace. He all right. He be all right.
Right.
Candace, we gotta get him that 45, man. He just got the 25 right now.
Yeah, right.
Look at Young Kazi. Look at Young Kazi.
Oh, Young Kazi right there.
Look, Kazi look like he modeling cologne that stink.
That's that Gina Tay. I had that Gina Tay on. That Dracoir Noir.
That joint, you straight up jupe.
Y'all know me. I'm a Issey Miyake.
You're right. Oh,
dude.
Yo, if you put on Issey Miyake and Cool Water right now, you'll drive these young girls crazy. They don't know what it is. They don't know
what I'm saying. Polo blue.
Polo.
There you go.
A little polo blue. Little Issey. You took it back though. That is a throwback cause right there.
Look, that's why I wore my Carolina today. I ain't have the exact jersey, but I needed something with Carolina on it.
There you go.
To the culture so far, man.
I appreciate
it is. Look at Polo blue.
Okay. Hey, that's like the descent of champions.
Yo.
Oh, you got the red too. Red is cold too. Okay, Just. You know what time it is. You know what time it is.
CK1.
Look, I had a bottle of Hugo Boss that I used to wear.
Oh my goodness.
Oh god.
Mm-hmm. I had a bottle of Hugo Boss that I used to.
Y'all was up on the Armani though. Y'all wear that Armani flat?
Mm-hmm. I would always keep a bottle of Curve on deck too.
Well, I'm telling you, that Cool Water though. I'm about to order some Cool Water right now for the summertime. I'm gonna come out smelling like Cool Water this whole summer. Watch how I change the game up, because they don't know nothing about Cool Water.
But if we doing Rushmore, the number one scent of all time, Egyptian musk.
Egyptian musk. What was it? Oh man!
Look, how you do your wrist? How you put it on your wrist though? Yep. Get it at the kiosk in the mall.
Word up.
Look, I can go to a kiosk in the mall, get I could get a Ron G mixtape. I could get a vial of Egyptian musk, some CK1, and I could get me like 2 chew sticks and some incense. Probably spend like $10.
$10.
Facts. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, man, like for real, like straight up, yo. So okay, we talk about Rushmore. Top 10 worst smelling cologne. I mean, top 4 worst smelling colognes. I'm gonna go with Stetson. I think that was everybody's first cologne, Stetson.
A Stetson man. You are a Stetson man?
You're a Stetson. That Old Spice the cologne.
Definitely up there.
Brute. And
I ain't gonna lie, I used to rock the Brute back in the day. Man.
by Menon.
by Menon.
By Menon. By Menon.
Menon. What's the last
I don't
one?
forget shit.
Last one. Somebody said the car. The car was bad too. What else, Cash?
Nah, the car was alright. The car was alright.
Alright.
I got some in my locker.
Yeah, the
What about
car
the
was
ass,
bad.
But you got some Brute. So Stetson, Brute. What else they used to sell? Juke, bod spray. Axe.
Bod.
Any Axe is bad. I just wore Axe like 2 weeks ago.
Any Axe body spray is horrible. All of them.
Yeah, all of them are bad. But if you in a rush, Axe body spray.
Axe is made for like high school and college kids.
Right.
Middle school kids. Yeah.
You had to get the body wash and the body spray.
You gotta get both of them. You got to double up on it.
You throw that shit on after PE.
Polo Club. Polo Club.
Are you talking about Beverly Hills Polo Club?
Oh man, Tommy
Hilfiger cologne.
Where the horse it's like a dude riding a donkey, swinging like a putt club.
Swinging a broken bottle.
What was it? The United States Polo Association.
It's like a dude with a baseball hat riding a mule. Like
yeah, exactly.
Yo, when I say this right, Stetson
with a baseball bat, like
right. Stetson is the Tussie. Stetson is what Tussie is to deodorant. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, Stetson is the clone what Tussie is to deodorant. That's me.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. I used to hit the bootleggers. I ain't too proud to say it. I used to hit the bootleggers, but you just had to be like, have that eye to try to get like, okay, I'm gonna get the thing that looks the most authentic. Because I used to cop Lacoste from the bootleggers, and you'd have some alligator mouths that were closed, some that would be like wide open, like this, some were greater than, some were less than. Some alligator's mouth had teeth. Some of them had like, you know what I mean. Some didn't have no teeth.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you this right here. One time, my mom brought me and my brother, because you know my brother. Me and my brother about the same size. All right.
Y'all used to be the same size.
We used to be about the same size. So okay, my mom brought me and my brother a bootleg polo and a bootleg Tommy Hilfiger shirt, right? But I'm gonna tell you this right here. The shirts were different colors, but they had the same stripe pattern. So like, all they did was took the same stripe pattern and put it on the website. I was like, yo, man, this shit, they don't make these the same. These we had to wear our shit on different days so we could
right, so nobody would compare and contrast.
Compare the two, yo. It was bad.
Yo, did you ever watch that episode of ATL where that kid gets the same FUBU jersey as somebody else, and they say one of y'all got a bootleg FUBU jersey? Have you seen? No, have you seen that episode?
No.
It's one of the best episodes of television I've ever seen in my life. I'm dead ass. Like that. When people talk about Donald Glover and ATL being a great show, I'm gonna find what episode that is and you know, go check it out on demand, because it's a deeper conversation about how we bully each other in school and how we treat each other based upon what clothes we wear. Like, because the kid ends up killing himself because he gets bullied about like his clothes.
Wow.
Yeah, and he wears a FUBU jersey to school, and somebody else has one, and his L is upside down.
Yeah.
And so cats rag on him. They like, nah, one of y'all got the bootleg FUBU jersey on. We gonna find out who it is.
Right.
We gonna figure out who it is by the end of the day. So all day long, cats is ragging on him about he got on a bootleg FUBU jersey.
And he had the real one on.
He had the real one on, and come to find out his dad was sick and died, and that was one of the last things he bought for him. You know what I'm saying? And cats rag on him. Some upperclassmen beat him up. Like, it's a real ass episode, dog. It's a real ass episode.
I remember that. It's
worth checking out. Yeah. But talking about exactly what you're talking about, because he came to school and then he had on some bootleg shit and everybody clowned him about it.
That's what I'm saying. When I wear bootleg shit, this is where y'all get Bishop Omega from. Those cats used to try to bully me with them jokes, and they got me a little bit. But second semester, of 7th grade, it was all over. I've been this nigga since 7th grade. Like no one, it just got to the point where Cass was like, just stop. Don't mess with him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
To that point, it's like this. I always tell people, tell your children what they're worth, right? Because I tell my daughter that all the time. People try to, because she's one of those kids that everybody's her friend and everything like that. And I try to tell them, like, don't let nobody bully you because there's something wrong with everybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I teach, because there's something wrong with everybody. Everybody got something going wrong with them.
Everybody, we're all humans. I'll say that.
We're all humans. And guess what? There is something that if somebody trying to pick on you about, there is something that they have on them that they got that you could pick on them about. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what it is. Like if you make this shit up, like, yo, that's why you got a wrinkly neck. You know what I'm saying? Your wrinkled ass neck ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what happens is, because you know what it is that because when you hit that spot on a person, you got, because you can see them get self-conscious. You say you got a wrinkled neck and that motherfucker do this right here, you got it forever. You got it forever. You know what I'm saying? Like you old turtleneck having ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you better go ahead. You better stretch your neck out. You know what I'm saying? It'll be neck jokes to the end of time until you stop fucking with me. Because guess what? Either you gonna stop fucking with me or we gonna fight. It's gonna be one of the two. So I'm like, yo, you're not perfect. No, you're beautiful. You're not perfect. And we gotta tell our children that. It's like this. Nobody is perfect in this world. And it's like this. Yeah, I've been called a bully. I mess with people or whatever. But then I also know that I'm joking. And if you get me, I'm also the person that, if anybody, you know this, just knows this. When these cats jump on me and they start making fun of me and shit like that, that's right with them. You know what I'm saying? I be fake mad a little bit, but you know what I'm saying? I laugh. You know what I'm saying? I be like, oh, you got me. But I know the shit I dish out. So it's like this.
You didn't got. Oh yeah, because you done got me a few times. How many times have I got quiet on this show while y'all laugh? How many times have I been quiet while you laugh for like 5 minutes? Holy shit!
Oh god! I mean, shoot. I mean, like, look, listen. I got you just at the end of the show, so you know what I'm saying. This goes down in history. This is recorded, B. You know?
It is, man. It is.
But yo, man, I went. It's time to go, man. I would rather speak to you another 12 hours on this shit.
Yeah, right on, man. But yeah, we'll get back with y'all soon.
Yep.
Ratcheteers, like it up.
Yep.
It's Intelligently Ratchet is the world's most dangerous Facebook show.
It's
you know still on the air.
Coming back, man.
Forever and ever and ever. Amen. Yeah, man. Until we do this again, or until y'all come our way. Either way, you know what I'm saying? But I'll be talking to y'all soon, man.
That's what's up, man. You know what it is. We come over to the crib after this Corona shit. Come over and pick your grapes and shit. I know he got grapes and shit at his crib. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, yo, can I ask you a question, P?
We're growing.
Nah, I got peaches and pears and apples in the back. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you know how to bootleg. Yo, what's up, man?
No, man.
Nah, hold on. I'm gonna show you something. Like, for real, I'm growing peaches.
All right, so.
This from my backyard right now. This is from my own backyard. Look at that. The leaf is still on it, P. I know you can make some bootleg wine out of this, P. Look at that.
No, man. You give me too much credit. All right, y'all.
P, that's a good piece.